Hi, welcome back to the channel. Well, today things are changing. See that van behind us? Our Rocinante van? Well, it's going to be turning into something else today.
What? That's exciting.
Stay tuned. Okay, we've done it.
We did it.
Signed the papers and it is ours. Winnebago EKKO 2025 model, the 22A. And we bought it here at Blue Compass in Altoona, Iowa. We love it.
Very excited.
Okay, we'll start right here. Yep, let's start with the door.
Well, one of the things I really wanted because of the cat, because our van had that big sliding door and she could get out, or it was always a fear of it, is I wanted a regular door, sorry, with a screen door. And this is actually metal. So it's metal with screening over it. So even if you have a dog or something, it's very difficult for them to get through. Obviously, the cat isn't going to do that. But that was a big thing for me. And it also does have a deadbolt lock on it, too. So you can lock it and leave it open. Not if you're going to leave the place or anything, but
right.
Very handy. And then a nice, heavy door. The only thing I noticed is there is no window to see who's out there. So,
well, you can look through this window.
That's
or
true.
Guess what? There's an option that Freedom Van Go will put a little window in for you.
Oh, okay.
So,
but this was a big thing for me.
Right.
And steps out.
Yep.
Because I'm short, I have to be careful coming out.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Then this.
Another thing was this had something that I really like, and if you've watched our videos back at Indio, we had an outdoor kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. I don't like cooking inside of the coach if I can avoid it. I guess I'm going to have Gordon help me get this set up, but it's set up so fast in camp, and this gives me that outdoor kitchen. So you raise that up, and there's a sink that opens into that. Here's your refrigerator freezer, which is super cool. There's the collapsible sink. So it fits right in there. And there's water back there to bring into your sink. This opens also, show the other way too, which is nice if you're cooking and you have cut things in there. You could go ahead and, just move it over. Yeah. And then a 2-burner gas stove. That gas stove, you hook up there. And it hooks up
to a quick connect.
Yeah, to a quick connect down here.
Right.
So that's a very fast kitchen setup.
Here you have 2 propane tanks. The nice thing about this is you can take, say if you get low on one of these tanks, you can take the tank out, put it in your car, go down and have it refilled, bring it back. You know, you don't have to bring the motor home down there.
Right, if you have a car with you.
Right, if you do. And guess what?
We can.
Yeah, this will tow up to 5,000 pounds.
Right.
500-pound tongue weight. And
which was another thing we wanted, because we don't always want to take the car. But if we're going to be gone for a couple months or something, I probably want a car.
Let me get you on this.
Storage. Our van, just had very little storage. We can take electric bikes, scooters, all the cooking things I want, tents, anything that you want pretty much, you could do. 110 volt
and 12 volt DC up there. It's got lights on both sides. And then you've got these Molly. This is the Molly.
This is Molly. Mm-hmm.
On that side and this side over here. And you can latch things in on that track.
With those rings.
That track. There's 4 of them here. So you got plenty of areas to attach. And there's the little attachments, if you can see those. And this comes out if it gets dirty. You can take it out and hose it out and clean it.
Yeah, fantastic. And highly insulated. It also has heat that comes in here.
Yep.
Which is really great.
So in the wintertime,
right.
yeah, things don't freeze back here.
And the other thing, too, is if you can't reach it from the side, you could certainly reach it from here.
Yep.
You know, it's big.
You got 3 places to get in.
And here's another door just like on the other side.
There we go.
And what's this, Gordon?
Okay, so this is the water bay. Notice how thick all these doors are, by the way.
Yes,
And
insulated.
when Judy's struggling with this, what this does, this really gets the door tight against that seal. So it's very insulated against winter. So, okay, here's a gravity fill for water. It takes like 51 or 55 gallons of fresh water.
Which is great if you're going to want a boondock, which in this,
Right.
you're going to want a boondock.
This is made for boondocking.
Yes.
And you've got all the little settings, very easy if you're going to do dry camping, which means no hookups. There's how you set it up. City water, so if you've got pressurized water, comes in right here.
How to winterize it.
Winterizing, it's very easy. All your drains, freshwater drains, low drains are in here except for one that's on the other side.
Right.
Very easy. When you winterize it, you hook it up the tube up here, your pink winterizing fluid. Turn this over, set that to winterize, put the pump on, sucks it through. Very easy. Gray tank valve goes out the
And what
bottom.
goes in the gray tank?
That's just shower water,
And sink water, yep.
that kind of thing. Power connection. All right, here's the thing that's still a mystery to me if we're going to like it or not. And this is the black tank right here.
There is no black tank, so this is a cassette.
It's a cassette.
Which was the hardest thing for Gordon to swallow.
I don't want to swallow it either. So I just go to wherever.
Wherever. You can dump it in a dump. You can dump it in a bathroom. You can dump it in a pit toilet.
Right.
All kinds of places.
Right. This comes out. They say you don't have to siphon it.
We have got another one coming because we are not 100% sure on how much. I mean, we know it holds 5 gallons, but what does that mean to us in waste? So we want to be able to boondock in this and not worry about that stuff. So we've got another cassette, and when you take it out, it seals. So you don't have to worry about, is it going to leak? Is it going to this? Is it going to that? You know, so. And pretty much all of these places, these we're showing you, locked too.
Yeah, these are all lockable. Down here, you got the generator. Same generator we had on the van. So that's good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and did I tell you the van? This is only 4 inches wider than the van, and it's only 2 foot 1 inch longer than the van. So one of the other criteria, we had to make sure it's going to fit in our driveway easily and not overtake everything. Height-wise, I think it's 10'6", and I think the van was 10 foot. So
yeah, it's a little taller there,
about
but
6 inches, maybe 8 inches taller.
but we can't fit it in the garage anyway, so that doesn't matter. It just looks a little bigger in the driveway, but we don't care.
Now here's the thing I love. It's got a 320 amp lithium battery. It's a never die battery, so when it gets down to 15%, it automatically shuts off. It charges from the 455 watts of solar we have on top, or the generator, or the second alternator, or shore power. You're hooked up to shore power.
So, and we, you know, there's a lot of things that we're considering doing an extra lithium batteries. One of them, my idea is, let's drive this like it is, see if we need a lift, see if we need bigger tires, see if we need another battery. No reason to spend all that money, unless we need to. Now, the second cassette, that was something I thought, we need that. But,
second cassette.
well, should we go in?
Yeah, let's go inside.
Okay.
What's this up here?
Oh yeah, this is a batwing awning. So it comes from here and opens up and goes around and connects in the back right there.
Yeah, that little connector right up at the top up
So
there.
it gives you all this coverage with an awning.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you're working back here or even getting stuff on the side, doing your water bay, if today's a really windy day, probably wouldn't do it today. But
No.
if you got that out, maybe it's sprinkling,
Yeah.
maybe not. I mean, you just don't want the sun on you. Or you want to sit over there in the shade if
Right.
you've got shade there.
And of course there's an awning up here too,
Right.
which is like a standard awning, carefree awning they call it. That's the manufacturer anyway. Okay, when you first step in, I love this floor.
Yes.
This is the kind of flooring I wanted in the van. It's that woven vinyl flooring, marine type flooring, which is great. Right over here.
So yes, this was one of my big things. I had no place to sit, or we could only sit one person in the van, and that was in the passenger seat. This way it has 2 seats. The passenger seat turns and it has a table, and you could turn the driver's seat also. So we've got 2 separate sections to sit at. Storage up in the corners, nice TV with sound bar. It's, you know, you do have to lift your head up a little bit to watch TV. I don't know how much that will bother us, but you know, you can always just lean back too.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got a big kitchen cabinet here, which this is all going to have to get organized with probably shelves in it and stuff.
Right, right.
But
yeah, there's a lot of modifications that people do and that we're going to be doing.
and I could not believe how many outlets and jacks were in here. There's a set. There's another set over here. There's a set of plugs here, a set of plugs here. So there's a lot. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze.
Up here, here's the thing I love, well, among many things, but the Ford chassis, the Ford Transit chassis, has a lot of cool features. First of all, it's that huge screen, you know, and Judy knows I love
He loves big screens.
I love a big screen in a car. And I just discovered, I didn't even know this, but I discovered last night, because we just brought it home yesterday, that it's got Apple CarPlay, but you don't have to hook up the wires, the cables to it. It just does it wirelessly. And I know other people have had that, but I didn't know we had it on this, so I was amazed. And a lot of, it's got lane, it's got the cruise control with, what do they call that?
Lane assist? I don't know.
Well, lane assist, but it
Oh,
also has the distance, you know. So it keeps a distance between you and the car ahead of you.
Right.
Yeah, so it's got that.
This has also got something which will be handy. I don't know how much we'll use it, but you can snap in all the way around here a curtain. I wonder if that's what that one is up there.
No,
No,
it's
back
in the
there.
back.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it can keep the heat up there or the cold up there.
Mm-hmm.
We're also going to get insulated shades.
Yeah.
But then you move into the kitchen area. And also, that table goes
Folds
down and
down.
lays pretty much flat against the wall.
Right.
Then you have the table over here also. The table over here can be used for that seat.
Right.
It can also go up high enough that it comes across the door and up to this counter.
Yeah, it's a lagoon table,
Yeah,
so
and it acts-
it'll actually shift, go up and down, and it comes all the way over to here just
Yeah.
about.
Then you have a sink, 2-burner gas stove, microwave. It is not a microwave convection oven, so it's just a microwave. And again, more storage, which you'll need to have shelves. It doesn't have quite the drawers I would like, you know, but we'll make it work.
Yep.
And then you've got storage underneath the cabinet here. Something I love is the size of this refrigerator.
Oh, yeah, that's like night and day. We don't have to get on our knees
No.
to see what's in the refrigerator anymore.
Nice thing about this too is you can actually take it outside, so it lifts out like a basket. So if you want to, you know, put some stuff in there, but you've also got that cooler out there. So and then a freezer
Up there.
up top here. So
Yeah.
not very big, but you have a freezer out there if you need it.
Right.
The here's another little storage area which we have to organize. We haven't put anything in here yet.
No.
Now the bathroom, if you know anything about the EKKOs, they're really great because they're very innovative. You have the toilet, which does swivel, and you have the sink and a storage cabinet up there. You do have a bathroom window that opens with a shade. But now it's time to shower. Where am I going to shower? If it's unlocked, yep.
Yeah, it sounds.
You grab this, pull it across.
What? So that area now is your shower.
I've got to connect it
Yeah,
up.
you have to snap it in
Then you have
place.
this big, huge shower here, which is fantastic for this size. It's not really a wet bath then.
Right.
Well, it is, but not like most where you're showering over a toilet.
Right.
So this is really, really creative.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that sold me too because I didn't shower in the van.
Right.
This I can shower in.
Yep.
And then I'm going to switch places with you.
Okay.
Then you go up to the bedroom area.
Before we go up there, I want to show something here. The when I was talking about that Lithionics battery, here's the app, so it can show you what percent you're at on the battery, and it tells you how many days or hours you have left, on the power that you're using. The solar charger's here. The inverter is right there, which inverts DC battery power to 110 volts AC power on all of the outlets that you see in here. So the thing we had going, and here's a little coach battery, you can check on that. The generator, you can start here. Tank levels. One thing I hated in the van was, I don't know if you can see this.
And even our Class A.
Yeah. Yeah, probably can't see it very well. But anyway, it goes up in 1%, not increments.
Yeah.
It doesn't go up in 1/3, 2/3, full.
Yeah.
So
it was always a question mark. Of course, this is just gray water too.
Right.
So it's not quite as critical
fresh water
as
and
black,
gray water.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Not quite as critical as your black tank.
The other thing is, with that battery, last night we had the air conditioning running. Yeah. You can run the air conditioning all night on the battery.
Yeah.
So if you're not hooked up to shore power and it's hot, you can
which we
run
want
the
to do.
AC.
We want to do a lot of boondocking.
Right. Okay. No.
You
want me to go back?
Yeah, you
okay.
go back first.
All right.
There's 3, or really 2 steps, maybe 3, I guess you
Yeah.
could count, to get up into the bedroom. And I do like that there's a curtain here, too, because I get up in the middle of the night. That was a reason I wanted 2 separate areas. I get up in the middle of the night. I can leave Gordon sleeping back here. I can close this curtain, go up there, watch TV if I want, or just get on my iPad or phone, which is probably what I'll do.
Mm-hmm.
But these beds are big.
Mm-hmm.
These are 30 inches wide by, I have to double check again the length.
73.
73. And I think we're going to go ahead and order Beddy's, BEDDYS, bedding for this, because you put it on, it's very easy to make your bed and keep this area super neat. Mm-hmm. When we get that, I'll show it to you. But we have these huge windows with screens and blackouts.
Shade out. Shade.
You again have a place, we're going to have a TV put up here on an arm that doesn't come with that. But
now, also, a lot of people, what they'll do is right here, they'll put a
projector.
Little mini projector and then have a screen right there. But I
don't know.
I think we'll put a TV in.
We're used to TVs.
Yeah, TV turns on instantly. It's bright too, in the daytime. But you have
storage areas up there. You have, places you can hook up your cell phones and stuff like that.
There's the USB is up there, 12 volt and 110.
Plugs, yeah, and then you've got the little lights there.
Yeah, and that we had in the van.
Right. I think we've got something like that even in the Class A, don't we?
No, not that. I mean, something else.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
So we're going to probably go ahead and at least use one of these.
We'll probably take the plastic off.
Yeah, we think so.
I mean, you can hear it on the bed,
flip
too.
It when we go to bed so that it's the fabric side. If Gigi wants to sleep up there, she's certainly welcome to. You can bring this other one out here and have more bed. I don't think we'll need it, but we'll find out.
You'd be falling off the end here.
Yeah, it's a little deep down here then.
Your legs are only 2 foot long, I think.
2 foot.
Yeah.
Foot and a half. But there are drawers on either side.
Yeah.
And then there's storage under here again, which we'll have to work on organizing.
Yeah. Those are
on
two
both
cushions
sides.
that are going in the basement. Because what those are for those chairs up there,
Right.
unless you see a need for them.
Well, I found that it sits a little low if you don't have it.
For
You'll
you?
have to, yeah.
Go sit in it.
Because
Let's
it's
see.
getting up.
Oh, getting up?
It hurts, I don't have the best knees, and it sort of hurts my knees then. But we'll see. But this has got the Froey system underneath there, which it had in the van. So the storage back here is pretty good. It's, some people, have it along the side. I think I'd rather have the windows.
That's that lagoon
Yeah.
table. Here, let me put it over here.
Okay.
And let's lift this up.
And that lifts up. There's some storage there. You can get into the drawer this way if you wanted to. There's a little hidden
Like
storage
for
here.
billfolds,
Yeah.
things like that.
And then this is the cabinet. I think this, we're going to figure out where we're going to put laundry. I think it'll be in one of these. Not the whole thing, but take this bar out because I don't think we're going to need hanging clothes per se.
Okay.
But again, live and learn. We don't know. We haven't lived in it yet. We haven't even
Right.
slept in it one night
No.
yet. So, and there's lights. There is a little light here on the stairs, which I think might be really nice at night. We'll find out if it's too bright or not. But it'll help us to see if we have to get out to go to the restroom at night.
Oh, yeah, Truma. It's got the Truma furnace and water heater, which we're totally used to and we totally love. The van, it was perfect. So I would assume it's going to be perfect for us in this
the
too.
van has it and the Class A has it too.
Right, we have AquaGo in the, it's a little different configuration in the Class A, but it's still Truma,
And
and
we
it
love
works
it.
perfect. Perfect, yeah.
So that's pretty much it. And the reason that we got these things, I said, I wanted storage, I wanted a separate shower. This satisfies that.
Yep.
I wanted a door. I wanted 2 separate areas were really important.
And this we wanted a Ford chassis.
Ford chassis. We've had several Fords and we loved them.
Right.
Did not want Mercedes. Not to knock Mercedes,
Right.
but it's harder to find dealers. It's harder to find people to work on it. Yada yada yada.
And the thing I always said, no more DEF.
No more diesel with DEF. Yes,
Right.
and Mercedes, you have that.
And I
so-
think that was one thing that clicked in my mind. We had some friends from ORI, Buzz and Lori.
Yeah.
And on their way home, they had just purchased a nice brand new
beautiful
Class
Tiffin.
A
Yeah.
Allegro bus. And on the way home, DEF, DEF warnings, came up. And it said, you need to stop the bus. You can't go any further.
or it's going to be deregulated.
Yeah.
And, is that what's called
Descaled,
deregulated? Whatever.
downrated.
Take it down to 5 miles an hour. Well,
yeah.
that we just
So-
could not deal with.
And we had that issue
yeah.
once in the Phaeton. And I said, no more diesel ever
Yeah.
again. And I was swaying back and forth. Oh, maybe it's okay.
Because the
maybe.
Mercedes has got a lot of advantages, and it's from what we hear from people, it's a fantastic ride.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, we rode in this, and it was smooth and nice.
Yeah. And
It
quiet.
was quiet. Yeah, it was really excellent. We're very happy with that part. So it met all of our needs. The only thing, the biggest compromise was the cassette.
Right.
And you finally came around after about 2
Yeah,
years.
well, and I may end up saying I told you so. But
You never know. I don't think so. It's a little bit more of a hassle maybe.
Yeah.
But the other thing you have to figure is you have to have a dump to have a black tank. This you don't.
Right.
So
Right.
you're not really stuck trying
True.
to find a dump, you know.
True that.
True that.
Yep.
So anyway, that's our story.
Oh, and even the fan. The fan's
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
It's got a remote control for that fan. I didn't even realize this. And of course, it opens up. And I don't have the control here, but then you can set the temperature. Like if the temperature is, say, 80 degrees outside, and we come inside here, and it's like 90 degrees. Okay, turn that fan on.
Yeah.
Get the breeze going, and you can set your control to automatically shut down once it reaches 80 degrees inside here.
And let me tell you, that air conditioner in the back really works great.
Yeah.
It works wonderful.
Yeah.
When we came in yesterday, he had it running. It was cold in here.
Yep.
So we don't have to worry too much about being in hot weather, which I don't like. I'm not a real hot weather lover, but we should be able to sleep and all just fine with that. So that's it.
All right. Well, I think we'll call that a wrap, Judy. I think we told everybody what we're doing. And, you know, we've been talking about this for quite a while.
Yeah.
Quite a while. A year at least.
Because we had the van for 4 years. I couldn't believe it had been that long. But
Yeah.
the other thing I would recommend to you is if you're thinking about changing, we wrote down everything that we wanted or didn't want. And
Right.
it took us a long time because we'd be driving along and say, oh, you know what I really wish too? And I'd add it to my list. So that when you go to look for one, you can say, yes, this has, 80% or 100 if you can get it, of what we want. So you don't lose sight of what's important to
Right.
you when you're
Because
looking.
a lot of times there's something shiny and new.
Oh, bells and whistles.
Wow,
Yeah.
I like
Mhm.
that. You
Yeah.
know? Hey, the other thing is, we bought this from Blue Compass in Altoona, Iowa.
Right.
And I was very, very impressed with their whole team.
Everything was good there. Yep.
Salesperson, very honest, answered all the questions. That was Jacob,
Yep.
Dave, and back in the service
he showed
area.
us everything. He was just phenomenal.
And
really new stuff.
and fun
Yeah.
and funny.
Yeah, but it wasn't just guessing how things work.
Right.
He knows, and they handle so
you can
many
tell
different
he
kinds,
knows.
from little, what do you call those? The little ones. But anyway,
Yeah.
trailers all the way up to Class A's. So he knew, and different brands. He knew everything. It was
Yeah.
really great.
So it's
Yeah.
a place worth checking out.
Yes.
I would definitely recommend
Yes.
people go there.
And there's Blue Compasses all over. We had
That's
one
the
out
other
in
thing.
Indio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ron, that guy out
Yeah.
there, he was great.
He was great.
And I was telling people there at that point, okay, you have a problem, with your coach, and now you left Indio, and you're out in the Midwest someplace, and I got to go to a Blue Compass. Well, there's quite a few
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
So
So it was very handy, I
Yeah.
think, for us.
yeah. All right.
But-
Well, I think we'll call that a wrap.
And,
We said-
and we're also only two and a half hours from Winnebago.
Oh yeah,
which
that was
is
another
a big,
thing.
yes.
Yeah, it should have been. What we wanted was either a Tiffin, which is a day and a half drive to go down to the manufacturer, or Winnebago, which is a 2-hour.
Yeah, 2-hour
drive.
ride from here. So
So-
if something is really, a big warranty issue or something that Blue
That they
Compass
can't
couldn't handle, we can go
drive
up
up
to
there.
up to Winnebago, which is
Right.
phenomenal.
Service is important.
Absolutely.
And actually, I'm very confident after
Yeah,
talking with
yeah.
Dave in the service area.
Yeah, they seem to really know what they're doing there.
Yeah.
So
All right, now we'll call this
now
a
we'll
wrap.
call it a wrap.
All right.